have Peter Murphy? Good morning, everybody. Monday morning. Morning, mics. Hello, everybody. How are you? How was the weekend? Keep up the tunes. Steve, always fading the tunes early. Keep it going, baby. I need 60 seconds. Just like to hear it. Oh. All right, buenos dias. A powerful winter storm slamming the northeastern United States. Oh my God, I hope to God. How many of you are in the Northeast right now? Jesus, heavy snow, Virginia to Maine, and putting more than 40 million people under blizzard warnings. A nor'easter, as they say in Boston. Delaware, Pennsylvania, Maryland, all of New England impacted. 6 states declared a state of emergency this weekend ahead of the blizzard. It's expected to dump up to 2 feet across the region. Hey, New York City's new mayor, Zoran Mamdani. He said the blizzard's expected to dump up to 2 feet, and he's declared an old school snow day. Don't make me like Mamdani now. I grew up in New York City, and an old school snow day, there was nothing like it, baby. Oh, my God. And I'm talking no virtual instruction, no like logging on with your Zoom. No. Let the kids go out and play in the streets. We had piles of snow on 86. I grew up on East 86th Street, 86 between York and East End, kind of up by the mayor's mansion. And there were days, I remember as a kid, there were piles of snow that were 25 feet high, and we would sled down them in the middle of 86th Street. That's growing up. Do not make the kids hop on Zoom. Let them have some fun. This is the first old school snow day since 2019 in New York. All road travel from 9 p.m. Last night banned through noon today at least. Boston also bracing for its first blizzard since 2022. So what makes a snowstorm a blizzard? Huh? Well, snow and or the blowing snow reducing visibility to a quarter mile or less for 3 hours or longer. It took a lot of people to put this together. And sustained winds of 30 miles per hour or greater, according to the National Weather Service. So we pray for everybody's safety in all of this and hope that it just turns out to be a great deal of fun for everybody. What do you think's going on? Boston hasn't had a wicked had blizzard since 2022. My question is, do we have, what would be unbelievable would be a reporter, a wicked good reporter out of Boston somewhere who might be able to give us a report as to what's going on up there. Anyway, Steve, do we have a great man by the name of Peter Murphy anywhere?
He's trying to get in right now. He's in the middle of, I just got kicked out of StreamYard, everything myself. I'm like, can you see me?
I can see you. Yeah.
Like everything, all our content everything just kicked me out. I'm a little stumped. That's not good. Peter is trying to get on. He's literally in his driveway, snow blowing right now. And he's holding the phone up. So I'm on the phone with him offline here. He's trying to find a signal to give us a live
snowblower. He's got his snowblower out. Oh boy.
Yeah. So let me, he's trying to find a signal right now.
We'll get a report from Peter Murphy right there in Boston, outside of Boston. Mary's got it. Did y'all see Scott Wolf at Disneyland with his kids and his wife? They were at Universal. Not only did I see them, they stayed here with me. Great friends. So Wolf is one of my great buddies. You all got to see Scott as We had a surprise. He was a surprise guest, a surprise celebrity guest we did on Thursday. But we had the whole squad here. His kids are like, I'm like a godfather to them. So we had massive games of pickleball and a ton of fun, some big dinners, and just a great squad. Yeah, they posted a nice thing and they said healing. They've been through some things, and they are healing. But I'll leave the details of that for their time frame and potentially a future episode of Hot Mics. You know why? Because life is a shit sandwich. Eat it or starve. That's the way it is. Everybody's going to go through something. And the Wolves and Kelly are, sweet Kelly, I'm texting with her right now, are no different. But anyway, just delightful, beautiful people. Why didn't I go? Well, because, I was doing other things. I had a shit weekend. Not going to lie to you. Let's just be frank. So Allie, my girlfriend Allie, her father, we had to rush him from the hospital out in Palm Springs. I think I told you this, to Cedars-Sinai Hospital. This is the second time I've had to rush from an ambulance from a different hospital to Cedars. My daughter first, a couple weeks ago, and now Allie's father, who had this diverticulitis situation. He's in terrible agony. They've done 2 surgeries on him in the last 3 days, and we just pray. They found the perforation. We pray for his continued recovery. So she's been a trooper. She's been in the hospital, in and out with him, making sure he's okay. And it's been tough. Just been tough. But Cedars-Sinai is a great hospital. They got great teams and surgical teams. And they've been taking good care of him. So he's on the mend, but they opened up his entire insides. And at 83 years old, that's a lot. So pray for Warren. That's his name. I call him Wawa. All right. Pray for Wawa. We're going to wait for Peter Murphy to report from the terrible blizzard that's happening in Boston, but that's fun, knowing that he's out there with a snowblower, just trying to angle the thing into the garage there to get it out of the way. Now I'm morphing into Ted. I love Ted. Hey, Johnny, we got wicked snow over here. I had a funny moment yesterday at church. I tried a new church. One of my best friends, with whom I went to boarding school, high school in Rhode Island. Truly one of my favorite people in the world. He lives outside of London, but one of his younger brother lives in Venice here in Los Angeles. So he was coming through. He's off to a work conference for the week in Vegas, but he spent the weekend here. I was helping at Allie with her father. So we didn't catch up until Sunday. Yesterday, we went to church, and it's this new church for me. I'm not going to say where because I'm so embarrassed about what I did. This is like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment at church. I'm looking for parking everywhere. It's a popular church. I didn't realize it. I mean, look, that's a good sign. A lot of young people going to church, but I should have taken an Uber because I could not find parking anywhere. And they had 2 little lots and they were full. And then I thought I had a spot and I didn't have a spot, and I'm getting frustrated, but I'm going to church. And I text my friend and he's like, we're in the 5th row in the center. Come join us. And I said, I have no parking. I'm going to probably go home and I'll just meet you afterwards. And then I'm like, what am I doing? Giving up on church? Don't do that. Find a spot. So I circle back around. I'm like, one more time. It's 10:04. And I see this parking lot that's kind of right next to the church. And it said, oh God, I'm going to hell. Is this a sweater off moment? I think it is. Okay. The parking lot next to the church says accessibility parking. It's handicap parking. Disabled parking. And I look in there and it's 10:04 and there are 4 empty spots for that service. I say to myself, are 4 people with disabilities going to show up late for church? No, they get here early. I think I got to get in there to the church. I'm going in there to ask for forgiveness anyway for a list of things. I might as well add this, a terrible moment. I pull in, I'm like, I'm going to do it. So I pop in on the far end. I go into church. I tell my friend, I'm like, you're not going to believe this. I mean, if they give me a huge ticket, I deserve it. I'm going to pay every bit of that ticket. And I paid a little extra in the tray, donate to the church. Afterwards, we get in the car. We drive to lunch, and I'm laughing the whole time thinking, well, if I find, like, instead of a ticket on the front of it, if there's just a note that says, you're a bad person, we saw what you did, I'll deserve it. But it's 10:04. It's 4 minutes past the hour. There's 4 empty spots. There aren't that many more people coming with this. I figured that out. So just this once, and I'll race out of the church afterwards and move the car. Well, there was a note that said, whoever you owns this car, you don't have the signage that you need. You clearly don't have a disability. You have parked here. You're a bad person. It quoted Romans chapter 12, verse 10, like, do for others, don't do for yourself. Don't be a selfish bastard, like, quote. It was terrible shaming. They went after me. Oh my God. I feel so bad. Anyway, I've got the woman's number. I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna speak in person to her and tell her to confess, not only to the Lord, but to the lady who runs operations for this church. Tell her I'm never going to do it again. And I'm not going to do it again. It was only an 8-minute drive. So I'm going to take an Uber next time I go to this lovely church that I will never say what the name of it is, because I don't want you to know that I'm a bad person. Anyway. It was such a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. Oh my God, reporting from Canton, Massachusetts, where there is a blizzard. There he is, operating his own snowblower. Peter Murphy reports.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. How are we doing?
Oh my God, show me around the garage. I like it, man. You're doing your own snowblowing.
Oh, I'm telling you, this is crazy down here. It's supposed to snow like this. I'm in Marshall. It's supposed to snow like this until now tonight. We're getting about 3 inches plus an hour. We got 23 on the ground right now, and let me show you what I got going here. I mean,
23 inches on the ground so far. I love that Peter goes to fix his camera, and all he did was disengage.
We lost him.
No, but it's part of his charm.
Yeah,
Let me show you what's going on here. We got 23 inches on the. And you know what? He'll come back. He'll come back and he'll continue the report. But we've got the basis. And what Peter has told us so far is that there are 23 inches on the ground, and that he goes up. Hey, Peter.
You want to take a look at what it looks like here?
Yeah, we do.
Here we go. Leaving my garage.
Whoa! Oh my God, that's so brutal.
Now I'm going to tell you that the whiteout that is happening here isn't really magnified into the picture that you're seeing. I mean, it doesn't really portray what the hell is going on here, Billy, but it's cranking here. And we've had wind gusts in the mid-70s.
Wow. Yeah, they say, Peter, do you know the difference between a blizzard and a snowstorm?
Yeah, my old meteorology days told me that if the wind is over, I think 35 knots, and you're getting 3 hours of sustained wind, it's not necessarily how much snow you're going to get; it's how fast it's accumulating.
Wow. Peter, you made me my first ever. I don't usually type in the comments section. I usually just read them. But you said the word I wanted to hear so badly as a New Englander myself, knots. Going 35 knots. Look at that. It is definitely blowing wicked hard. But the flakes, they seem like they're not not coming down sideways right now. They look like they're sort of drifting down. Is that right?
Yeah, well, here's what's going on. I mean, that storm is coming up and heading out to the northeast. So we're getting bands of heavy snow, Billy. And now you can see it blowing. You can probably hear it. It's cranking. I mean, look at those pine trees up. They're 200 feet up in the air, and look at them.
Wow. Yeah, they're covered. And by the way, it looks like you got a nice bit of land out there. Hey, I think your blower's getting away from you.
No, it isn't. I got to push it. It doesn't go through 2 feet of snow very well, Billy.
Wow. Look at that blower. That's a real professional, guys. I'm embarrassed to say I would not know how to operate one of those. Peter, you really know what you're doing.
You know, the funny part of this whole thing, Billy, is I plowed snow from 1970 until 2025. I always sat in a nice warm truck and a T-shirt with a big coffee, and now I'm following a snowblower around at my age. Do the math. What's wrong?
We got a blackout. In the middle of the whiteout, we got a blackout.
I don't know. Peter.
Yo.
Peter Murphy, everybody. Now, if you're new to Peter Murphy, we met Peter Murphy in the Karen Reed trial and became a beloved friend. He became our Canton, Massachusetts bureau chief. He was reporting outside of the courthouse for us to all the fans and supporters of Karen that gathered in front to see her through emotionally through her acquittal. And Peter became a dear and loyal friend, and we love him and always want to check in and make sure things are going well. And there's Peter Murphy right now reporting for us in Canton. And as often happens, Peter hits many different buttons on his phone. So we do this in pieces.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Is it possible with your skill set and Steve's that you could explain that the ceiling here with the heavy snow, I'm not getting a signal in my phone. Intermittently, it's knocking me out.
Yeah, but we got you back in the Wi-Fi, right? I feel like you're on the Wi-Fi now.
I don't think we have Wi-Fi. All the cable is down. The TV is down.
I don't know. You're crystal clear right now, but geez, Peter, you're getting pounded out there pretty hard. I like you back inside. I wouldn't do the snow blowing now until it's over, right? Just stay inside. Or what's the point in doing it several different times?
Well, here, I'll turn around a little. My concept is that you can't get out of the doors in the house if there's a fire. The drifts are up halfway up the door, 3 feet, 4 feet high. I got to clear away the snow accumulation around the doors, Billy. Or, God forbid, we can't get out. We'll be throwing chairs through windows and diving out the windows. So, I got to do that. And not only that, but
oh my God, I'm so moved by that answer.
These machines will only go through so much snow, Bill. And you got to push it 1.5 feet and back it out, and another 1.5 feet. You just can't walk it through 24 inches of snow. It just doesn't happen. Did
you guys hear what I just heard? Peter Murphy is twice the man that I am, and 1.5 times the man that Steve is. He is an incredible man. This is a man looking out for his family, a good old school man. I said, why would you go and shovel the snow and blow it out of the way right now when it's only coming back down? It's going to reload. He said, well, the snow drifts are up about 3 feet. What happens if we have a fire in the home and we try to get out the door? We got to get out the window. We can't get out because the snow has barricaded us in. This is not something that I would have thought about. I never would have thought about this. And in that case, disaster could have befallen me. It will not befall Peter Murphy because he's what's called a real man, a man who knows where the goddamn fuse box is. He knows how to change it. He knows when there's a problem with the wiring. And he knows that if that snow gets up too high, you're inviting another possible problem. So what does a real man do? He puts on his orange jacket. Right? Hopefully there's no hunters out. So in case there are, he's got that covered too. And he goes outside and he removes the snow drifts.
Bill, it's so good, Peter. Billy, I'll jump in. You also have to stay ahead of the plows because the plows are doing the road for safety, but then your driveway starts building up You'll get higher than your
Yeah.
car. So you have to keep getting the front of your driveway out as the plows come by so that you can
See, I
get
knew
the
Steve
car
would
down.
have an answer like this, so I said 1.5 for Steve, but 2 for me, twice for me. None of this I would have thought of.
No, that's right,
Real,
Steve. You're right. And I mean, there's going to be drifts with this wind. 70-mile-an-hour wind is going to put drifts 7 to 10 feet high, depending on how it's cowling around a certain area.
Now, Peter, have you kept your local fire hydrants away from the clear of the snow as well?
We did on the last storm, and we had 2 feet of snow a couple of weeks ago, Billy. But they're 2 feet high
I always
now,
do.
and I
I always
I
do.
don't even think the plows have come by once here. I really don't. I haven't seen one in 4 hours. They
Peter,
can't
you
keep up.
are a
They can't keep
trained,
up.
as Joanne says, you are a trained first responder, my friend, a first responder through and through. You know how to take care of these things. We're very proud of you.
Hey, thank you. It's always great to talk to you. I'm going to
Love you,
jump back
buddy.
in and clear some snow away from the doors. But if you want me to update you, give me a shout later, Billy. Best to you and Steve. You guys are doing a great job with everything you're covering.
Guess who I went out for drinks with on Thursday night, Peter?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say AJ.
AJ is right. Had a beautiful catch up with my friend Alan Jackson on Thursday night, and it was great.
That's great. You know what? You and he ought to jump on a flight and come eastbound, and we can put you in the courtroom right with Karen and AJ, and we can go out for a cocktail after that, Billy. How about it?
I'll tell you what, these civil trial attorneys right there might need that, right? They might need a good little whack of it. Nobody's as good as AJ. We know that. Peter, stay in touch. I love you like family.
All right. You and Steve stay well. Stay safe. All right, man.
We will.
Goodbye.
Boom. Billy drinking now. Guess what? Dolly, you called it. I haven't had a drink since December 22nd. I had one with AJ. I had 2. See, it's never just one with me. I have to have a second one. Alan loves a Vesper. I went to take a leak. I was thinking, Alan, I love to have a cocktail with Alan. I come back from the bathroom. He's got a Vesper sitting there for me. He's already ordered it. I said, yeah. This looks too damn good. So anyway, I dipped in, but I didn't have one the rest of the weekend. That was Thursday. And here we are. Oh, the stories Billy could tell. And I will, most of them. I will tell you this. There is news on that front, but I've got to get permission because Alan's got a lot going on. What's interesting regarding Alan too is Nick Reiner, the Nick Reiner arraignment. Remember, Nick Reiner was supposed to be arraigned back in early January, and the morning of the arraignment, Alan Jackson, his attorney at the time, shows up, comes out, takes the microphone, addresses the media, and says, "I'm stepping down." Unbelievable. He said it was for circumstances beyond his control and the control of his client. Well, I mean, I'm not speaking out of school here. Before I even spoke to Alan Jackson, I knew what was going on. I mean, you saw that he was visibly pissed off that he was no longer allowed to represent this guy. He represented Nick Reiner from the get-go. He was called immediately the morning after Nick Reiner was arrested by cops and went to work for 3 weeks straight, right through the Christmas holiday. And then all of a sudden, right before arraignment day, he's called off. Why would he be called off? For circumstances out of his control and out of the control of Nick? That's for whoever's paying the bill. And whoever's paying the bill is not happy or not liking the size of what that bill is going to entail. Now, I'm not going to speculate beyond or I don't know how much money they have in the purse, but it started out as we need the best to save our brother to, okay, we'll take the public defender. What happened there? I don't know. But if Alan is ready to talk about it at any point, I asked him, in the days after, and there were certain things he couldn't share. So we played a lot of hypothetical, but we'll see. Anyway, so Nick Reiner is with the public defender, a woman named Kimberly Green. He's being held without bail, has since December 14th. He has got 2 counts of first-degree murder, one for each of his parents, Michelle and Rob. But remember what Alan said. He adamantly declared outside that courthouse that Nick Reiner is not guilty, pursuant to the laws of California. He is not guilty of murder. And he was confident that he would be able to win that trial. So let's see if this woman stands a chance. My guess is, with the district attorney, Nathan Hochman, having already said he's confident that there will be that the murder charges will stick and that Nick will go away. My guess is that Nick will die in jail and in maximum security prison, and that's where he's going. Only rich people can afford the best representation. That's criminal. Well, that's why big lawyers do some pro bono work. They balance that out. Let's see. There's Michelle. Good morning, beautiful people. Living in New Jersey, nothing much to do today except for have a couple of drinks and play video games with the grandbabies. That's a cool grandma right there. Pour up a couple martinis and beat the kid's ass in EA Sports. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Chris says, Reiner knew what he was doing. All murderers are a bit mental, but Reiner was cognitive enough to remember to want drugs and where to get them, cognitive enough to clean himself up after the murder. Interesting. That will all be addressed. Boy, it's some situation though. It's just, you remember, it's like so much happens in our world, in our media cycle. It's mind-blowing. That happened just like December 14th. It's been 2 months. And I feel like 8 million other jarring things have happened. It's crazy. So once in a while, you need something good. You know what I mean? And the USA hockey game was it. Was it for a lot of people? It was incredible. Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils playing for America, 24-year-old Jack Hughes. That's his brother Quinn right there, who plays for the Winnipeg Jets. Jack on the left. 2 brothers, by the way, 2 sets of brothers on the USA team. The Hughes brothers right here and the Tkachuk brothers, Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk, playing for the USA. And just like the 1980 game, we were outplayed most of the game and not expected to win. And USA men's hockey pulled it out. It was a 5 a.m. start here in Los Angeles, so I jumped in the middle, but got caught up on everything. Star of the game, by far, the USA goalie Connor Hellebuck, who plays for Winnipeg. He was outrageous. 41 of 42 saves. 41 saves. Incredible. Only 1 goal against in that match. He made 2 breakaways. He stuffed Connor McDavid, the greatest player, Connor McJesus, as they call him, on breakaways. He had more stand-on-your-head saves. He was reminiscent of the 1980 USA goalie Jim Craig. It was, and many people were hearkening back to 1980. Although I think we're desperate to feel warm and connected in some way. We are all so desperate for connection in this, divided world. And the reason for that, you draw your own conclusions. But today on Hot Mics, or no, Wednesday, we're going to get into this whole comparison between the two. I do all kinds of different things. I hope you'll join me on this. I'm a big hockey fanatic, but we're going to have Al Michaels, who called the 1980 Miracle on Ice. He was the one. 5, 4, at 3 seconds, do you believe in miracles? There he is with his unbelievable fro, broadcasting for ABC from Lake Placid with that unbelievable call in the end, considered by almost everyone to be the greatest call in sports, in the most culturally significant sporting event of all time. I remember that gift. I was 9 years old, the Miracle on Ice. Just think about it. Lake Placid was a town of 2,500 people, 2,500 residents. And, where did all the athletes stay from all these other countries? You see the Soviets getting off the airplane in their giant fur coats and their babushkas, and they're walking off and they look like they look like the evil empire coming in. Where do they stay? Well, they built an Olympic village 8 miles away from Lake Placid in Raybrook, New York, which today is a correctional facility. It's a prison. And then scattered hotels around the Adirondack region, had all the media and all the support staff and delegations from the different countries. But, the speed skating was in a parking lot outside the high school. They had to make a speed skating ring for Eric Heiden. And, he was must-see TV. And in the beginning, the USA hockey team, this is what I loved about it. These guys are all professionals. They're all pros. And to you, that may not, to me, there's a slight discount. The fact that these kids were from the University of Minnesota playing for, Herb Brooks, and some were from Boston University, like the great Mike Eruzione and Jim Craig, the goalie. And they were a hodgepodge of amateur kids. And it was the middle of the Cold War, and the United States was just like, we were hurting. Inflation was high, and unemployment was high, and there was no national morale. We needed something to coalesce around, a little bit like today, right? Need something to rally around. But these guys were so unlikely. They were picked to finish somewhere between 7th and 12th place. The Russians was a foregone conclusion. Every single expert, reporter, critic, had them running away with it. And Czechoslovakia would be second. And somehow we beat the Czechs. After in the first round, we tied the Swedes 2-2 with 40 seconds left in the game. That's the most important game the USA played, because we would have been out of it at that point. But they tied the Swedes in the first round of the early stages, and then went on to, make it to the medal round, where we beat the Russians in the semifinal, 4-3, a go-ahead goal by Mike Eruzione, the captain of the team. 4-3, we beat the Russians. But everyone thinks the Miracle on Ice was the gold medal match. It's not. The Miracle on Ice was the semifinal against the Russians, and then somehow we had to go and hold our own against the Finns. Finland was the gold medal, and we were down 2-1 going into the third period. And the boys just came together. We're not, after all of this, we're going to lose to the Finns. And then they just poured it on, played a tremendous period of hockey, and win the gold medal. But, oh my God, to me, I don't know. Facing off against Russia is a little different than facing off against Canada. Still a great game. There are arch enemies. And if when it comes to hockey, but there are our neighbors to the north. More on the whole thing. But here is the gold medal team. Here's in the locker room afterwards. I don't know what you think about this, but I'd love your opinion. FBI Director Kash Patel is watching the game. He's over there. Official government business, he says, meeting with Italy to talk about, cooperation in no, It's to take a government plane to his latest. He likes to go to raves in Ibiza, and he likes to go to hockey games, and Kash Patel likes to take the government planes to places. And he did, and afterwards he was in the locker room raging with the guys, chugging beers, throwing around like he had played, and he called the president of the United States. So the boys are going off to Washington on invitation from the president. Steve, fire it away.
Unbelievable, and you were all unbelievable. And that team is pretty good you played. I don't know if we'll ever get anytime soon, right? And, I tell you what, I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night, it's the biggest.
We're in.
Speech.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday morning. Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
Let's go.
Boys are going to the State of the Union.
The nice thing about being president is I can tell you, you don't have to worry about the weather or landing. So we don't care if it's snowing, if it's the worst blizzard, you'll be sailing through that sucker just like you did at the ice.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now we'll do it at the White House anytime. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. Absolutely. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay? But anyway, if you could work that out, I would be honored to have you. I'll introduce you to the whole...
I got it, boss. I got it.
Okay, you got it, Cash.
I'm on it.
Cash is doing it. I'm happy.
I'm on it.
Congratulations.
Such a nerd.
That was an unbelievable game. I don't know if one person that wasn't... Everybody that called me said, I'm watching the hockey game. I don't know if anybody that wasn't. And you're going to be proud of that game for 50 years.
All right. Kash Patel. Kash Patel is such a huge nerd. I'm sorry. It's just, I got it, boss. The FBI director would never, you're supposed to have a modicum of independence from the president of the United States. Yes, you're appointed by the president, but the conflict of interest, it's like never before. Anyway, we've got lots of investigations here in America that need attention, but Kash Patel is taking a government plane, definitely paid for by you, to go and look at this guy. Look at Kash Patel. That's the FBI director. Putting a gold medal on him, chugging beers with the team. I love these boys. Oh my God, Patel acting a fool as usual. Kash, and here's the thing. I love these guys, and they're all excited, and the president of the United States invited them to go to the State of the Union, and, well, fellas, be prepared to be politicized. You're about to be politicized. He is going to use you at the State of the Union basically as supporters of him, and everything is politicized by the two sides. And that invitation, he's going to weaponize you for him against his enemies. There's always an enemy with Trump. It's us versus them. And you are now Republicans. And the Democrats are terrible, and you're evidence of that. That's just the way it's going to go. You got to know him. But I don't blame the kids. They just won. And they're going to get a military plane, a government military plane, to go fly them over. Oh, and Trump says at the end, by the way, I have to invite the girls' team. I have to invite the girls, or they'll impeach me if I don't. Meaning I'd rather not. And we all know, like, the girls is a secondary level. But if I invite you, I got to invite the girls. And they're all like, wait, no, of course. Like, they were like, yeah, it was cool. We want the. But Trump was minimizing, that was less of a victory. And the women's victory was great. Would I say no to the invite? No. But let's see what happens as they kind of all realize what's going on. I bet there are discussions today, and I'm like, oh, the blizzard is too much. We might not be able to make it. I don't know. But if the USA team goes, I hope that he just acknowledges them for their win, and both sides stand up and then leave them out of it. That would be good. But honestly, look, if he can be left at that, it would be a nice thing. Because we are beyond divided. And that was exactly what happened in 1980, right? Happy Monday, Billy and the Bushwhackers. I'm late because at my annual mammogram. What did I miss, peeps? Well, I hope everything turned out okay. Did you get a result right away? Anyway, but boy, what a overtime goal by Jack Hughes. Then, did you see what Twitter did? Like, Twitter went bonkers about Jack Hughes is Jewish. And it went back, I didn't know that, but on his mom's lineage, he is Jewish. And it's like but it became this whole thing, people about Jack Hughes being Jewish. Like, who cares? He's an American. And, Twitter being Twitter, there was some anti-Semitism that popped in there, and it should have nothing to do with it. He's playing for the United States of America. So I don't know. There was like a couple of my friends sent it like, oh, can you believe it? And I was like, what? I'm like, but why do I care? Right? Anyway. Nancy Guthrie. What do we do? I mean, God almighty. This is the worst investigation ever. Week 4 begins today. So this is interesting, though. Early yesterday, these volunteers, these mothers, these women from Mexico, Madres Buscadores de Sonora, mothers searching, basically. Some group of moms who formed in Mexico because of the cartel killing their sons and husbands, basically, and they would go and the government would give up on finding them, finding their remains. And this wasn't about solving crimes. It's just about bringing the bodies home and knowing what happened to their loved ones. It's a group of moms. So they've gotten involved in the search for Nancy Guthrie. They gathered in a division of them. Madres Buscadores de Sonora gathered in the parking lot of a nearby Hobby Lobby. And they organized an informal search along Orange Grove Road, which isn't far from Nancy Guthrie's house. They recovered a backpack, and they handed over to deputies. We've recovered a lot of gloves. That doesn't seem to be the backpack that is sold exclusively at Walmart. Maybe it is. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it. Didn't look like a black backpack to me. Anyway, a Tucson resident, Lupita Tello, poked the dirt with a sharp metal. Oh, it is. It's the Ozark. That's the Ozark. That doesn't look like it. Yeah, no, that's a different backpack. Anyway, that's all they found. That's what we've come to. Tucson resident Lupita Tello poked the dirt with a sharp metal rod. And after wiggling the rod into the dirt, she pulled it out and smelled the sharpened tip. And she said, if it smells bad, like something decomposed, that's where we start. She told reporters who were gathered outside. Oh my God. This is what they use, these pokers in their searches for people in Mexico, and now they're doing it here. If you're the Pima County Sheriff, Chris Nanos, and there's groups of moms from Mexico coming over here, and bless their beautiful hearts for coming to help out. I mean, indication that this is one of the worst investigations you've ever seen. He should have turned this over to the FBI from the beginning. I don't know why he held on to jurisdiction here. He released the scene after just a few days and then later had to reclaim it, as we know. It's never felt organized or coordinated. The president of the Pima County Deputies Association, he's already spoken out and said this is the worst investigation ever, to which, Chris Nanos fired back at him. This is a guy that said he would have turned it over to the FBI. A week into the investigation, Chris Nanos, the sheriff, is seen at a University of Arizona basketball game. Well, Kash Patel is seen in the locker room chugging beers and, I don't know. But at this point, I was the longest holdout, thinking Nancy Guthrie would be coming home. But a case involving ransom going into the fourth week, I just don't know. Things move a lot quicker than that. No money, the millions that were requested were never transferred. There's been no real activity to those accounts. So I don't know. It just breaks my heart to say it, but I can't see how there's a joyous ending anymore. So sad. So unbelievably sad. Yep. Here we go. Queen of Hearts, Charnel. There have been groups of women that have come in and found bodies of lost hikers 10 years later or something like that. Yeah. Horrible investigation. Yeah. Oh, man. Here you go. The longer the investigation takes, the longer the Pima Sheriff Department is protected from a trial. I don't know. I don't think the family wants to go after him and sue them. I think it's just so sad. Yeah, turning the investigation to the FBI and the FBI director. Well, whoever runs the regional office of the FBI in Tucson or that part of Arizona, turn it over to them. I'm not Kash Patel. I think the serious people in the FBI tolerate at best. He is, again, he is there because he is a loyalist. He is there because, hey, boss, I'm with the team. Oh, I mean, imagine Chris Wray or even James Comey. Whatever you think about these people, Robert Mueller, whatever you think about these people, they're not, hey, Mr. President, look at me. I mean, it's sycophantic. Pam Bondi would do that. These are all people that are there for one reason and one reason only, and that is their loyalty, their undying loyalty. Yeah, I hear you, Billy. With the meds she was on and responsibility that person endured, it's a lot. Not looking or sounding good. Need a miracle. Yeah. Do you believe in miracles? It would definitely be a miracle at this point. So tragic. Anyway, some other things going on before we check out of here. We have a lot of ships that are poised to bomb the bejesus out of Iran, and it could happen. But, Trump he's saying, it might, I don't know. We'll see what happens. He throws in a probably. You're going to be finding out over the next probably 10 days, he said. Bad things are going to happen if Tehran doesn't sign this nuclear deal. He has arrayed a force in the region now to support a conflict, a major conflict, one that could be a lot longer and deadlier than last year's 12-day war on Iran. America first. We weren't going to do any foreign wars, and now we're going to. Everything changes, though. Trump has told his advisors that if an initial strike fails to move Iran to end its nuclear program, he may mount a bigger attack to drive its leaders from power. Here's the thing. I know MAGA should be upset about this because they were told no foreign wars. We're not getting involved overseas. But, look, one thing's for sure. I mean, this is where I actually support. I mean, this is, when we bombed their nuclear sites the first time, I thought we should have kept going. I mean, we were already there. This is our sworn enemy. They live for our destruction. The regime lives for the day that major harm is done to the U.S. And all those people, most people in Iran hate that regime too, and they want a free Iran. So look, if they're not complying, that regime needs to go. And I'm watching Tehran, by the way, the series Tehran. Oh my God. The finale, I believe, is this Friday, but we're all caught up. 3 seasons of Tehran, and you get to see it's basically like Israeli intelligence. It's Mossad versus the Islamic Republican Guard in Iran. It's just a fascinating series. But you got to be a good reader. A lot of subtitles. The other thing I'm reading, which I'm watching, which I'm going to get into, America's Next Top Model. Reality check. Have you seen this? 3 episodes about the phenomenon that was America's Next Top Model. Tyra Banks, an animal. Oh my God, so much fallout, as you knew there would be. And drama. I mean, there was like, they did challenges on that show that were in blackface. They would tell white models need to know what it's like to be this is Tyra Banks, a black woman ordering a challenge where white women have to paint their faces in blackface to know what it feels like to be held down and to face, bias in the industry. No, this is just a stunt, Tyra. This is just a stunt for ratings. But amazing, shouldn't somebody be canceled for this? Retro canceled? I mean, we've always tried to retro cancel people for this kind of thing. NBC fired Megyn Kelly for asking a question about it. Like, all she did was ask, when was that inflection point in our culture where this became an absolute, we went from America's Next Top Model. We went from Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel doing stunts like this on television to you will lose your life and livelihood if you do this. She was trying to narrow in on the point where that turned and asked a question and got fired for that because she was called a racist by one of the worst human beings that ever lived, chairman of NBC News at the time, Andy Lack. And here's Tyra putting on challenges. I couldn't believe this. I totally had forgot about that. And then there was the night in Milan where the young model who was a Walgreens checkout girl who signed up for the show and somehow got picked, and she got sexually assaulted. There was, by a guy in Milan at a party. She drank too much. Oh my God, there was so much in this thing. Anyway, I've got one more episode to go, so we'll do more on that when it's finished. But if you want to see it, it's called Reality Check: America's Next Top Model. Also, the Kristi Noem is fighting with Chuck Schumer. We'll see who wins that. And finally, I will leave you with something that's happening in Tokyo that I hope happens here in America. And this is beautiful, iridescent, gorgeous, colorful toilet bowls located in Tokyo's Yoyogi, Fukamachi, and Haru no Ogawa parks. Blue and orange toilets appear like beacons of light in the night. They can be spotted by people walking through the park at every hour of the day. Now, why would you want to go into a toilet, a public toilet, that you can see through? Well, the glass is smart glass, and it goes opaque once you lock the door so people can't look in. But the thinking is you can look in to see how clean it is before you go in, right? How many times have you been in New York City? You walk into a public bathroom and you're like horrified. I hope there's no way to disengage the glass for the people who want to be seen going to the bathroom in there. But think how many people, aren't these going to turn into like sex rooms but not in Tokyo. The only place you can do this is Tokyo. And believe me, I spent, I think it was 12 days in Tokyo with my daughter, 10 days in Japan between Tokyo and Kyoto. The cleanest city I have ever been to. You can eat sushi off the floor in the subway. People take out, they pack out their own trash. They don't even use the trash cans. They pack it up, put it in a bag, and they take it home. It's incredible. This will never happen in America. This is an adventure that will be a disaster if we ever tried it. Anyway, colorful see-through toilet bowls. That's what's happening around the world. Okay, big day. We've got a special at 10 o'clock. We have Rosemary Terenzio and Liz McNeil, the women who both wrote the definitive book on JFK Jr. So I've been watching, I'm up to date on JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, Love Story, the Ryan Murphy series. It has ignited all kinds of interest again in JFK Jr., of course. But Carolyn Bessette, women are dressing like her. There was so much drama about the fashion and the clothing. When they made the series, they had to go back and reshoot so much. So Rosemary Terenzio was JFK Jr.'s executive assistant, worked with him at George. She was by his side for 5 years straight. So she knows so much. And Liz McNeil, great writer for People magazine. Together, they wrote the book, The Oral History of JFK Jr. And so we're going to talk all about the series and the renewed interest and so many cool trends that are going on, that are online on social media about them. So much mystery. I can't believe it. Carolyn Bessette was 33 and he was 38 when they died in that plane crash. Just total tragedy. I kind of knew this was coming, that this series would really, get a hold of people. It's very, it's well done nostalgia. So we'll be doing that at 10 o'clock. All right. Oh, the music is good. Yeah. And how about the old restaurants and all the old cool places in New York that they brought life back to? Indochine and the Odeon and places like that. All right. We'll see you 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 Eastern, for an episode of Hot Mics from Howie Land, studio 10 minutes away. Check out that series, Love Story. Very good. All right, a lot in there today, guys. Congrats to USA. Oh, Wednesday. The man who did all the play-by-play for hockey over in Milan, and the man who did it 46 years ago. Both guys. Al Michaels and Kenny Albert.